Hello everyone, my name is Abhishek and welcome back to my channel. So we all know Cloudflare went down the other day and most of the services on the internet were impacted. Of course, Cloudflare published root cause analysis, but honestly, a lot of people find it difficult to understand because of the technical terms used in the RCA. In today's video, I will make it absolutely simple. By the end of this video, you all will understand what actually went wrong at Cloudflare. So just make sure you watch this video till the end. Let's get started. So we will start with understanding the bot management system of Cloudflare. Very simple. Cloudflare sits between user and the website. Let's say user initiates request to a website like ChatGPT. Request goes to Cloudflare. From there, Cloudflare forwards the request to ChatGPT. And this is where their bot management system comes into picture. We all use it on day-to-day basis. Now, if you go to internet, you must have seen when you try to access a website, a checkbox asking you to verify if you are a human or a bot. Your action, that is your click on the checkbox, is actually read by the bot management system, and this identifies if you are a human or you are a bot. Something like a bad bot or automation script written by a hacker for denial of service, malware, or even a spam bot. In all of these cases, bot management system blocks the request. If it understands that the checkbox is clicked by a human, it forwards the request to the website. Now, what's very interesting here is how bot management system, with a very simple checkbox click, understand if you are a human or a bot. So this is where they must have developed a very interesting machine learning model and a very interesting machine learning model. And this model should be trained on features like how fast someone clicked on the button. They must have historical data with features like how fast someone clicked on a button, whether the browser looks like a real one, whether the device fingerprint looks fake, whether the IP address of the user is suspicious, even as simple as whether the mouse movement to click on the checkbox is natural or fake. So Cloudflare team must have collected historical data of these features and they must have trained their intelligent machine learning model on these features. Obviously, once the model is trained, it starts predicting if the checkbox is clicked by a human or a bot. Sometimes it can go wrong as well. That's why, sometimes even if the checkbox is clicked by a human, it asks you to do it one more time. Things like when it is not sure. So bot management system use this machine learning model to predict if you are a human or a bot that is clicking on the checkbox. So these feature definitions are very important. And one more thing to understand here, these feature definitions keep changing quite frequently. Because imagine if their machine learning model is trained on certain set of features and hackers understand what are those features, how exactly their machine learning model predicts a user or a bot. What happens? Hackers come up with their own strategy to basically bypass the Cloudflare, which is not good for Cloudflare. So what they do is they constantly keep changing the feature definitions. And these feature definitions are stored in their internal database, that is their ClickHouse database. So this database again is very important for Cloudflare. What happens here is, this is where things get interesting. So they run an internal query. This query reads all the feature definitions from ClickHouse database. It creates a feature file and it forwards this feature file to all the Cloudflare servers in the world. Understand this carefully. Now, this query here, it runs on the database, the the ClickHouse database. It reads all the feature definitions. It builds a feature file, and this feature file is forwarded to all the Cloudflare servers in the world. This is where things went wrong. So they actually changed permissions of this ClickHouse database. And this change accidentally made the query that they are running duplicate entries in the feature file, right? So if feature file previously, this feature file here previously was adding entries like feature A, feature B, feature C. Now, instead of that, because the query or because the database permissions impacted the query, they had duplicate entries in the feature file. Something like feature A duplicate, feature B duplicate, feature C duplicate. So basically, the feature file doubled in the size, right? Because of the DB permissions, query doubled the entries in the feature file, and that doubled the size of the feature file. Okay, but what happened because of that? Now, this might look a very simple thing for you, but the Cloudflare proxy that runs on every Cloudflare server, right, which received this feature file, they are provided with pre-allocated memory. Unfortunately, they pre-allocated memory on these proxy servers, and they were expecting a safe number of features. But unfortunately, they got duplicate entries in the configuration file. So they got duplicate number of features. Because of that, they hit upper limit of the memory that they set on the proxy server. So because of that, proxy server crashed. And if the proxy server is crashed, every Cloudflare server is impacted because this is running on every Cloudflare server on the internet. Very interesting, right? A small proxy server that is running on every Cloudflare server was expecting a feature file with set of features. Unfortunately, that got doubled because of DB permissions and the proxy server crashed. The main culprit here is the pre-allocated memory. We are not really sure why did they take that call, why did they pre-allocate the memory. The reasons can be anything, but that led to this huge outage. I hope you found the information useful. If you want to read more about it, this is actually published to the Cloudflare engineering blogs. I'll share the link in the description, but it can be too technical for some of you. If you are interested, go through the entire document. See you all in the next video. Take care. Bye everyone.